Under Biden and Harris, U.S. gas prices reached their highest level ever recorded. This administration's policies led to all 50 states hitting new record-high gas prices, and in all 50 states, Americans were forced to pay average prices over $4 per gallon. Today's gas prices are still up more than $1 per gallon more than when Harris took office as vice president. The next time the left wants to tell you that abortion is a right and you need to protect your medical freedom. Kamala, as a woman, how can she be a champion for women's rights when you're taking away opportunities from biological women and giving them to transgendered ones? How can Kamala promote equity for women and she's allowing men to play in women's sports? And what kind of feminist would still allow men to enter their sacred spaces, our bathrooms and school locker rooms? Do I even need to mention the opening ceremony at the Olympics, or the fact that Angela Carini was forced to fight a man and told us that she's never been punched so hard in her life? We cannot allow dangerous liberals who think things like this are okay into the White House. The farmers are the backbone of this country, and aside from the Biden-Harris administration hurting the farmers by the rising cost of everything, the Biden-Harris administration waited until the 9th hour to sign off on disbursements as a last-minute attempt to garnish support. But why would they hurt the agricultural industry? Probably because they're looking forward to making more money in the pharmaceutical one. When Democrats bring up abortion and they talk about protecting your medical freedoms, don't be afraid to mention COVID. When the Biden-Harris administration forced Americans to take an experimental vaccine and took away their jobs, their livelihoods, and their freedom if they refuse it. Trump gave us a choice and Biden-Harris gave us a mandate. Want to help destroy Medicare and other entitlement programs? Then vote for Kamala, who wants to give our Medicare, Medicaid, and the rest of Americans' tax dollars to undocumented immigrants. Medicare is not a handout. American taxpayers are legitimately entitled to Medicare, which is already struggling, because Americans have been paying into the Medicare program with every single paycheck that they have earned. Whether Kamala Harris identifies as Black, African American, or Indian, thanks to the Biden-Harris policies, the average family of 4, no matter the race of the family, pays $1,200 per month more for the same goods and services as that family paid 3.5 years ago. Another minor issue failed to bring up while attempting to beat up on Trump. Anyone who votes for Kamala Harris cannot possibly be a Christian. Of that fact, there is no debate. The policies that undergird her existence as a politician are of the same wicked and perverted we saw acted out in the opening ceremony of the Olympics. And we should vote for her just because she's a woman, seriously? She's no woman to the American people. The first woman president needs to be a great woman first. She's not it. There are so many women that we could choose that's better than her. Ask yourself, what has she done for you and the American people? Nothing. Her latest policy promised by the Kamala Harris campaign won't work. Because that policy, price control, has never worked at any time in history. Kamala Harris is going to control inflation through price control, an admission that she's a communist. At best, do nothing. At worst, cause a lot of harm. The first thing that happens in a communist takeover is control. That ends up with every private business going under. The only people who can continuously spend money when they don't earn it is the government, because they print it like monopoly money. We are watching the communist takeover of America in real time. The only question is whether enough people are smart enough to realize what's happening or not. Basically, it comes down to, can we trust her? The clear answer is not in your life. Please don't forget this come November when it's time to vote these Democrats out. Remember that they took those freedoms away from men and women the second they got in office, and there's nothing stopping them from doing it again. It hurts all of us when we see an administration failing their country that they were elected to represent. I encourage you to vote based on the facts and not feelings. In her donation ads, tell us the American people to roll up our sleeves and get to work, when she hasn't done nothing during her entire time in office. Seriously, it doesn't matter if she's Black or Indian or how she laughs, or other things about her personal life. Kamala Harris is wrong for America because the Biden-Harris policies led to high prices, a border invasion, and serious public safety concerns. We should focus on these facts. She is overexposed, and Democrats are growing overly confident. Yet, her own inner circle doesn't trust her. On policy, she's stuck. She either clings to the administration's failed policies or deviates from them, thereby admitting those policies failed. She can't reinvent herself no matter how hard the media tries to make her look good to the American people. Kamala Harris is like the administration's response whenever they are questioned about the economy. They keep telling you it's great, but it feels like the Titanic after it hit the iceberg, while the captain assures us that the ship is unsinkable. Put her on the defensive radical far-left policy proposals, no accomplishments, engaged in the Biden cognitive decline conspiracy, and cover-up lied to the American people. The more Kamala Harris is out there, the higher the expectations. Unable to meet those expectations, she will ultimately destroy her own candidacy. Joe Biden will soon be gone, but Kamala Harris would continue his terrible policies and make things far worse. As a senator and vice president, Kamala Harris advocated decriminalizing illegal immigration. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, during her 2019 campaign, Harris advocated abolish ICE, ending all deportation and detention activities, extending U.S. asylum access so migrants could stay and disappear, provide migrants with free healthcare. Like Biden, she is opposed to completing the border wall, if not tearing it down completely. A mandatory Medicare for all system that would eliminate private health insurance. She supported defund the police policies in a 2020 interview. Banning America's most popular semi-automatic rifle, of which more than 24 million are in circulation. She advocated the original version of the Green New Deal, which would double the size of the U.S. government. Banning all fracking. Eliminating the 60-vote Senate filibuster so her radical agenda could be adopted with just 50 votes. Destroying American energy and crushing your pockets. Putting dangerous criminals ahead of citizens. Unleashing deadly chaos at the southern border. Harris's policies are drastically out of step with the American mainstream. Don't be fooled by the left. Make sure you vote based on facts and not feelings on this November. Review the policies of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and see whose policy aligns more with your faith. This woman will further destroy the United States of America. She'll giggle her way through her campaign, and God help us if she wins the presidency. The only true leader for America, vote for President Trump on November 5th.